What's up, everybody? This is Kenny Cummings here of Chillin' with Kenny C right here on TMVcafe.com, bringing your entertainment to your ears. We're going overtime on a Thursday night. Joining me is a recording artist that is born and raised in Savannah, Georgia. Her latest single is called Lemonade and is available on all streaming platforms right now. I'm joined with Jezzlyn. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. How's it going?
It's good. Thank you for having me. And yes, it's Jezzlyn.
Jeslyn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tend to overthink, but
Mm.
yeah,
It's,
it's
it's
all
a
good.
simple name, but people always butcher it. It's okay.
Yeah. So before I get into the questions here,
Okay.
I first heard of your music through a Grammy Award winner. I think you may know the name,
Mhm.
Yance.
Yes.
Uh,
Great guy.
so when Yans puts the good word on an artist, I usually give them a list. So I heard your songs. Oh, she's talented. She's dope. She won me over. So, so props to Jans first and foremost. And
Hmm.
you are so awesome. I just want you to
Thank
know.
you. Thank
So
you.
with that being said, how did you get started into music?
Um, well, I kind of always naturally had a love for it. I did theater growing up in like middle school, high school. I joined like the music choir, so I found my love for singing. And I just remember asking my parents one day, I was like, I want a guitar. So I self-taught myself how to play a little bit. I'm not that great. You can see it in the back. Um, but I started just naturally writing songs from it, just out of curiosity. I thought it was fun. It became therapy for me. And it's crazy you brought up Yawns because when I met Yawns, that's kind of where I got into producing music and actually figuring out, oh, you can release songs. It doesn't have to just be a cover on Instagram. And he kind of like introduced me into the music scene here in Louisville. And that's how I got started. It's been a long journey since then.
Yeah, so that's something. And with social media these days, it definitely gives you more eyes
Hmm.
for people to hear. And we living in different times with music when you can like hear it everywhere. TikTok, you can hear it in any other platform that's out there. Uh,
Right.
so so when I heard your original music, it was very appealing. Um,
Thank you.
she's got something there.
Hmm.
So I'm glad that you elevated into doing original music, and the things are looking out pretty good for you.
Hmm.
Um,
Thank you.
so so you mentioned producing.
Mhm.
Um, what's that like? Just working on a beat. What's that experience like for you?
It's been, I would I would say it's been almost like a kid drawing on a notebook. You don't know what you're drawing. You're just taking a bunch of colors and you're scribbling all over the place and you're just clicking on things, basically, is kind of how I started. I didn't really grasp it. I remember looking at it. I had like a DAW and I remember having it for a year because every time I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then just one day I was like, okay, let's just play with some things. So now when I produce, I have a grasp. I know what I'm going to do. I need keys and instruments and record them in, time things right. For me, it's still kind of the same. I just open up to a blank page and start clicking things until something sounds good and then start puzzling things together. And then at the same time, the lyrics kind of come in together. So then I'm like, oh, wrote a song.
Okay, so uh, that's something. It feels like producing. That's definitely a challenge because it's just a matter of finding what fits, finding
Mm-hmm.
what sounds good. It's literally like a puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
putting pieces together. With songwriting, it does take time, but you do get the feel for it. As a producing, it's like, man, this goes here, this goes here, and
Right now you're in charge of structuring and
yeah,
everything.
the structure is very context, very,
Hmm.
very complex for sure.
It's fun for me though. You
Yeah,
can kind of take anything, any direction you want.
absolutely,
But
absolutely.
yeah.
So now, who are some of the artists that's inspired you as far as you as an artist? Like maybe some mainstream artists or maybe some local artists. Who are some of the artists that have inspired you?
There's two that automatically come to mind. I mention them all the time when people are like, "Who are your favorite artists?" And one of them is Tove Lo. She's a Swedish like dark pop artist, and the other one is Charlie XCX. I'm sure everyone knows about her now
Yeah,
with her new album that just dropped. But they're actually my biggest influences when it comes to being an artist altogether. I loved their vibe growing up. When I first heard Tove Lo, I was like, "Oh, I love this woman." Like every single song I know the lyrics to more than my own. Like I'm just a huge fan all in general. But I also listen to a lot of music, like a lot of music. So even 50 Cent has influence on me when it comes to having hip hop and rap vibes. Everything kind of mashes together. Just a huge range. I can't narrow it down.
so I've been a fan of Charlie since the Iggy Azalea joint.
Hmm.
So that was my introduction of her. I mean, that was the introduction to her
To a
um
lot of people.
for to a lot of folks.
Yeah.
And then she's branched out on her own.
Hmm.
I feel like out of all the pop artists out there, I feel like she's underrated. Like
She is.
she don't get the recognition that some of her peers does.
Hmm.
But she stays in her lane though. She don't. It's like she makes her own wave
Right.
musically and sonically,
Hmm.
and people walk with that. So
Yeah.
she's definitely grown and evolved so much since
Mhm.
that feature that she was on. She's made a name for herself. I just feel like with her, she deserves more props for what she's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, that's why I'm so inspired by her and listening to her journey and even her being like, I'm surprised this album is like, of course she knows her music's good, but to have people come to you and like your fan base is growing from an album that you've been working years and years on, like that's insane.
Yeah,
Really good
absolutely.
inspiration.
So I want to talk about this Lemonade joint. It's your latest single. Um,
Yeah.
it's available on all streaming platforms right now.
Hmm.
Sings simple there, self-explanatory.
Yeah.
We It's that go-to drink in the summer.
Uh-huh.
Talk about how that song to be how much fun you had writing the song and recording it.
I'm glad that you gave me the opportunity to talk about this because I remember I was doing the vocal chops, the you know, the part that's always in your head.
Yeah.
I remember when I like was just like I said earlier, pressing buttons and like I did that and I was like, oh, what was that? And I did it again, put it on the beat, and I was like, oh my, I was literally in my living room, like, oh my god, like this is so awesome. And I'm the only one in the room. I'm like, I need people to hear this. And I needed a summer song when I wrote it. I didn't know what I wanted to hear, but all day long, the word lemon was just in my head. I was like, why do I keep like being stuck on lemon? And I was like, okay, well, let's write a song about lemon because that's what's in my head. I started putting the beat together. The song started coming along. But at the time, I was also in like this little bit of a dark energy. Summer, it was in between summer and like I literally wrote it not that long ago, earlier this year. So it was in between winter and summer. So you're still a little bit depressed, but you're also like, oh, the sun's out. And that's boom, the birth of lemonade.
Yeah, so that's a dope track. Shout out to your guests in the back there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And one, what's the pet's name?
Slinky. His name's Slinky.
Slinky. Hello, Slinky. If you can hear the
He's big.
sound of my voice. Um, yeah, we all for pets and animals on the
Oh
show. We all
yeah.
for the ant ones,
Oh yeah.
making
It's
a
my day.
name. So that's your day one right there. Just
Mhm.
in her own mood, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So shout out to that. So yeah, Lemonade, that is a dope track, and I've always had these chats with artists. Everybody's got that summer song in the bag somewhere. It's just
You
matter of
have,
putting. You gotta. It's mandatory, pretty much.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can have your love songs, you can have your heartbreaks, you can
Hmm.
have overwhelming feels, but you gotta have that summer song ready.
You gotta be a little bit fun, right?
Yeah, you gotta have some fun, warm
Yeah,
weather and everything. So yeah, so when I heard Lemonade, I'm like, yeah, this is it. So it's a dope track. Definitely
thank
dig it. It's on all the streaming platforms right now. Go check it out. Go request it to the radio stations. I know I've been playing it on my Monday shows. So
thank you. Appreciate
yeah.
that.
So I'm also supporting the locals here. So you're originally from Savannah, Georgia.
Yes.
You now reside in Louisville, I believe.
Yes.
So
For sure.
how's that been for you making making your way to Louisville? How's it been for you as far as musically?
Musically, it has been an adventure. I basically learned a lot. I didn't know much about the industry in general. I just knew what writing a song was, and it was just fun. So I met a lot of dope people around here locally. Jan's one of them. Some dope artists. I love Ashley Toro. She's a good Latin artist around here. Um, I've made my way. I'm still finding my way. It's been a journey. I'm actually moving soon, though. Heartbreak. I love it here,
Oh,
but new experiences. Need new experiences now. I think I've learned as much as I can here. I love it. I might come back. I'm not gone forever. I'm gonna tour through here one day. So, and I gotta also get some of these great local artists out of town. So,
you gotta do what you gotta
too
do.
good.
Is
Yeah, too good to just stay local.
Yeah, so you gotta expand yourself, obviously.
Mhm.
You got something going, and
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, you wanna take it farther, you gotta, branch out.
Hmm.
So you're definitely doing what you gotta do. So um you're still one of us Kentuckians. We
Thank
kind of
you.
like, I now.
I'm gonna miss it a lot.
Okay.
I
So
am.
I'm glad that I've got a chance to know you, to interact with you
Yeah,
in this forefront. So once
definitely.
you do come back, and once
Hmm.
you got more music, starting to perform and things like that, I hear that Lemonade joint.
Yeah.
This is
I
gonna
gotta
be
come back and perform that for you. I won't let you
yeah.
down.
I appreciate that. So
Yeah.
um, so with the moving thing.
Hmm.
You got any more songs in the works, or you just focusing on the move? What you got up next other than
I'm
moving everything?
working on a bigger project right now. I have a lot of stuff in the works, like I'm ready. The process is gonna take a little longer because moving is gonna slow things down, but I never stop the grind. I was working on music last night, yesterday, this morning. I'm not gonna drop it to move, but it is a bit of a process trying to it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where to start with packing, but I'll write a song about it and figure it out.
Yeah, I got a feeling we're gonna have a package song for you in the foreseeable future, because anybody that moves from one place to another, it's tough. You know,
Yeah,
it's all the boxes you gotta pack, all the stuff. You
tell me
know,
about
it don't even matter if you're living on your own or you're living with someone.
it. Hmm.
It's 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 just stressful,
Yeah, and
and
then
you
you don't realize you have a lot of stuff until you have to put it in a box, and you're like,
yeah,
"Oh, I have a lot."
yeah, it's at this point it feels like you got to put the yard sale, man. Maybe I could
Mhm.
get
I
some.
threw a lot out today. I was like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this anymore. Like, just throw it away.
Oh man, so check out the single Lemonade. It's a summer anthem, summer
Yeah.
vibes. I mean, we get into the last month of summer per se, but you still can walk it after summer.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
It's gonna be summer in the winter. Anytime you play it, you're summer.
yeah.
You're summer.
Just I like your way of thinking. It's that
Yeah.
the new
Raising your
imagination
head a
right
little.
there.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, it's so good to chat with you, to interact with you on this show, and I'm excited for what's to come. And I'm excited to see what you have on the horizon.
Hmm.
You definitely have a very bright future in music, and I'm glad that you got people like a Yans and like some people in Louisville that's
Hmm.
that's really rocking with you, um, with your music and everything. And so just sky's the limit for you. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so but she coming, y'all. She got
I
more.
I'm coming. I'm slow burning, but I'll
Yeah,
get there. I'll get there. It'll be worth it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So what's as someone that's getting the feel for the music and everything, there are people out there that's trying to get their start, that's
Hmm.
wondering where to go or who to go to.
Hmm.
You've had your experience in all of that. What is your advice to all the aspiring artists that's just trying to get a start? What's your from your experience? What is your advice?
My advice is the biggest one, don't get in your head. Don't say, "Oh, I can't do this," or I don't have, this expensive equipment to do it. If you want to do it, there's a way and you'll do it. I know a lot of people have come to me before and like, how do you write a song? I'm like, you just do it. You go with your gut, do what sounds right to you, and kind of also be able to know how to do everything. Be able to write your own lyrics, learn how to produce on whatever you use, whether it's FL Studios, Ableton, BandLab, I think's a thing now. Figure that out, make your own beats, write your own lyrics, learn from people, network. I know it's kind of a lot, but network, that's important. The people that's how you're going to learn, is by meeting people, meeting other artists, producers. You never know who knows who. You never know what you will learn from anyone. And also, don't take yourself too seriously, but take yourself serious enough.
Yeah,
Get good at your craft.
yeah,
Yours.
absolutely. It takes time
Hmm.
to process. But as long as you put the work in, as long as you're doing your part, be
Hmm.
in you gotta be your own cheerleader. Like
Yeah.
anybody can root for you, anybody can cheer and care, but if
Hmm.
you don't care, then everybody else isn't.
Exactly.
You have
Exactly.
to you gotta have belief in yourself.
Hmm.
That I'm in this for the long haul, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell people. I'm gonna show them with
Hmm.
my work.
Right. Right.
So
And also, YouTube is your friend. You can learn anything on YouTube.
yeah,
It's
pretty
it's
much.
I there's just some things, technical issues, like, just if you don't know how to do something, look it up on YouTube.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
very hard on myself with that.
I'm surprised many more people don't do that. They think,
Mhm.
let me figure it out for myself. Like,
Right.
nah, YouTube is there. It ain't there just to watch videos,
Right.
music
It's a
stuff.
resource.
That is it's a reliable resource as long as you
Yeah.
go to the right people, of course.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You still
so
have to be
but
careful.
yeah, gotta be careful with that. So it is so good to chat with you. Shout out Slinky in the background.
Hey.
That's a nice that's a nice pet there. Um,
You. He's a
so
Siamese mix of some sort.
that's what's up. That's what's up. So you enjoy your night, you enjoy your weekend,
Thank you.
and best of luck with you, and best of sanity as you go through this moving process again.
You.
And you have a good night. Thanks again for your time.
Thanks, you too. Let's stay connected.
For sure, for sure. You have a good night. All right, bye bye.